Good morning, mind crafters. I usually say greetings because we don't know what time in the world it is wherever you are, but this is a glorious morning here in northern Vermont. It is May and it's 27 degrees, hence all the outerwear. So yeah, it's beautiful. This is how it goes. Look at the bluebird up there. And my name is Kimberly Quinn, and this is Giovanni, and we are your host and hostess with the most and mostest. This is Beaver Pond number 1. This is at the beginning of our journey when we come out here, and then there's another beaver pond coming up soon, and this is just a glorious spot at the notch here. So anyway, today I wanted to talk about it's on its way. Often in life, obviously we have desires, we have heart's desires, and I'm talking about the authentic journey of heart's desires. You want a bike and you think about it until, and then it lands in the yard, maybe. Okay, and that's not saying that's a bad thing. But that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about, true passion for travel, passion for, that ideal partner. We're not saying perfect. That's what ideal, because that's different. That's like what you authentically, would work for you. And starting a business. We've talked a lot about that. Writing a children's book, about whatever the desire, to have this beautiful home you can make your own and decorate it up to the nines and all that stuff. So we have that, and a lot of times I think we get so stuck on outcome, we think, oh, it's not happening fast enough, and then we start telling people about it. We might get some poo-poos, even if they don't mean it to be. Maybe they love us a ton, but they're thinking, oh, are you being realistic? Should you really quit your, the salary job you got going on to chase your passion? Should you do this? Should you do that? And maybe they really mean well, and maybe they don't. We have that too. But it's easy to lose track of those desires and put them on the back burner. And the thing is, if we don't prioritize that high-octane, passion-driven, heartfelt thing that we really, really are being pulled to, back burner, it can really kind of fizzle out for a while, and forever. We don't want that. So really, what it's important to do is realize that it's on its way. Maybe it's not here yet, but because it's not here yet, just means there are more breadcrumbs, more green lights along the path before we get there. And so the on its way thing, in my opinion, is the way to go as far as internal dialogue. And it might be something we're trying to achieve that's more of a like a character thing, or wanting to be more confident, wanting to be feeling more safe, more secure inside, the winning from within, the win from within we're talking about a lot. It's also okay to, rather than say, oh, I'm not confident, and there I go again, I caved in, I wasn't confident, I can't set boundaries, the word can't over and over again. Instead, to say this: confidence is on its way. Boundary setting is on its way. Healthy. Maybe you're already setting boundaries, but you're just starting. You've done it. You're getting started. You've done a little bit, but you're still feeling a little shaky. Okay, so stronger boundary setting is on its way. I love the confidence one. Confidence is on its way, because that's one I hear a lot. With students and also seasoned adults. I think a lot of seasoned grown-ups struggle with being confident. For whatever reason. Anyway, so it's on its way. It's better words. And so I also have to give a shout out to Wayne Dyer, because, oh gosh, I love him. He's since passed a long time ago, but he's definitely, obviously we're all walking balls of energy, so he's right with us here. And he's right up there in my friend circle with Oprah. We're very good friends. She just isn't aware. So he would say, like, as far as I can't have this, or I'm trying to get there, whatever it is with you, whether it's confidence, where you're trying to become more confident, you're trying to lose weight, you can't get there from here. And Abraham Hicks says it a lot, too. If you're in the place of focused on what you don't have or where you are not currently, that just attracts more of it. So in other words, let's say that the weight thing, you can't get to thin by despising, deploring being fat, not liking being fat. Focus on how you're not liking how you feel. You don't like how you feel being overweight. That's going to attract way more opportunities to become even more overweight, because what we want to do is, we can keep walking, but what we want to do is focus on being pulled towards something positive rather than pushed away from something negative. So the way to get to thin is to really do a lot of visualization. Obviously, lifestyle changes. We can't just, sit back and think that isn't how it works. But, get some goals just to set them, but then be in the moment, lifestyle changes, and really visualize being thinner, and not just a picture in a bikini or shorts or whatever, all ripped with all the abs. Do that too, certainly, if you want to, but it's more about how you feel. Really picture feeling thinner, feeling comfortable in your body, feeling that confidence when you walk into school or work or wherever, or the next family gathering, and people are saying, wow, you look so good, meaning you look healthy, you look happier, you look more comfortable in your skin. I'm real careful when it's stuff about body image, because really it's about how you feel, nothing else. How you feel, how you confident and good, and just how great you feel. You just feel when we eat better and exercise, we feel better. So that's what's going to get you to thin. Not thinking about all the negative things about being overweight. That negative will just attract more negative. And you just feel worse about yourself and probably gain more weight. That's a whole vicious cycle. All right, so we have that. So here's how it goes. So Wayne Dyer says that I think he calls them the 4 reallys. But the first one is to wish it. And Abraham Hicks, they're all saying the same thing. The great thinkers that I listen to, anyway, they're all saying the same thing. So first you got to wish it. You got to want it. So we're talking about heart's desire. So I really wish I really want to write. I've wanted to write my whole life. It's my example. I use it a lot because I like to write. Or you could use the weight one we just used. You could use the travel one. You could use the home. I don't just mean in a shallow way like a big McMansion. You want a home that you can decorate and put all this creativity in. Wish it, wish it, wish it. Ask. And that's super biblical. And I'm not trying to, whatever, because inspiration comes from all over the place. But ask and you shall receive it. It's just so true. It's so real. And the Bible says it, but lots of other, that's found in lots of other places. And the way I think about that, even with the Bible, that stuff's been going on for 2,000 years. And the ask and you shall receive thing is so true. Again, lots of people saying it. You can talk about it energetically. What we put out there, is what we get back, right? And so the wish thing, I would just really focus on my heart's desire. I've always wanted to write this children's book. I've always wanted to do this startup business. I've always wanted to start a nonprofit, for kids to refurbish computers in inner city, whatever. And put it out there. Wish, 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 wish. Now, Wayne Dyer says to not tell anybody about it. And I think that's because, I'm not saying don't share with your partner, but he's really not a fan of when you want that heart's desire to put it out, to tell people. Like while it's in the infancy phase. Once you get going and you have your nonprofit on its way, well then all the networking, all that's great. But when you're just trying to barely get going, because he says it kind of opens the door for unwanted commentary, basically. And the ego gets going and all that. So that's one thing. Okay, so the wish, and then there's the desire. So you've got the idea of it, right? I wish for this. Then the desire, really to focus on how this is a really authentic green light for your spirit, basically. Your higher inner self is the guide here. And when you're in sync, when you're in alignment, you know exactly for a fact that you're on the right track. And you just feel it with everything you've got in you. Because you just feel at one with the universe. You feel at one with the children's book. You feel at one with the play you're trying to write. You feel at one with the startup business. You feel at one with the nonprofit. You're so in sync. So I really, really wish this. I really, really desire. It's like the next level of wish, right? This full throttle desire and feeling good about it. It's okay to want abundance. And that's another thing, because none of this is going to work if you don't value yourself, because you can't take care of a self you don't value, and you can't run on high octane passion either if you don't believe you deserve good things to happen. That box has to be checked first. Okay, so we have, I really wish it, I really desire it, and then the next one is intention. God, the power of intention. I can't talk enough about the power of intention. When Wayne Dyer does these podcasts, they used to be, because he's long since sadly gone, he used to do big, conferences, seminars and things. So most of those are tapes of those. And he's got intention ones that are an hour and a half long, longer. I can't say enough about the power of intention. So once we really, really wish it, we really, really desire it, then we really, really need to intend it. And right out here in these woods where we are right now, every single day of my life, unless it's monsooning, I'm out here in the snow, I'm out here in the negative temperatures, though I don't bring Giovanni if it's less than 0, because his paws it's like hard to walk on that. We don't want to do that to him. So if it's 0 or above, he and I are out here. If it's less than 0, I'm flying solo or walking, snowshoeing solo. But right here in these very woods, every single day of my life, after I'm done with my whole spiritual prayer routine, I do an intention. I do how can I be of service? And I do an intention. I intend for this. I intend to bring success to whatever meeting it is that day. I intend to bring success to whatever conversation it is that day. Sometimes I say, I intend to bring success to every little thing I do today to the best of my ability. It doesn't matter if it's bringing success to rearranging a closet and cleaning it out. That's what it's really, really good. So, intention and whatever we intend has a lot to do with how our day unfolds. Huge. We're not talking about perfect. Remember, we've said that. Better off dropping the F-bomb than having your sights set on perfect. But wow, whatever you intend. What's loud out here? Here's the ducks or geese. I don't know what they are. Sounds like geese. Anyway, intention is huge. So we have I really wish it, I really desire it, and I really intend it. And then the last one is passion. Because I just did a thing on motivation, actually. Well, it's just recently. And we're motivated in all kinds of ways as people. Obviously, we're motivated by basic needs, as are Abraham Maslow. And we've got to have our food and water, also reproduction things on that first tier. And we've got to have a sense of, and we have safety, and we have belonging and esteem, self-actualization, and eventually self-transcendence. All those are very, 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 very big. And we can't really, focus on, like the self-actualizing, where do I fit in this world if we're starving, right? That's a good point. I love Abraham Maslow. And then Viktor Frankl, my favorite of all favorites, is Man's Search for Meaning. He you know him, he survived the concentration camps during World War II, and he's got an amazing story about meaning, and he's in purpose. And Abraham Maslow and Viktor Frankl together are very focused on mostly Viktor Frankl is solely focused on this part, the meaning and purpose and passion. And so we have to really, if we really want to have that desire, so we really wish it, desire it, intend it, it's got to be passion. If you're going to get that passion project going, right, you have to really run on high octane passion, because willpower only gets us so far. And this is one benefit to being the Fast Mind Club, actually, because we're wired for this. We literally can't make ourselves do something for very long if we're not passionate about it. We just get lots of negative for that sometimes, but too bad. We're also walking around pretty happy, joyful, fulfilled. So there you go. So high octane passion. And Wayne Dyer talks about not having passion. It's kind of like dressing up a corpse in a tuxedo. And I forget his exact story, but dressing up a corpse in a tuxedo, a really fancy dress with stilettos or something, and having that person try to pull off some really big gig, whether it's whatever big thing somebody's passionate about, a speaking engagement, again, writing, book signing, talking about their startup or nonprofit. Well, they're dead. There's a corpse. So you can't just dress up the outside when they're dead on the inside. You gotta be like, what's that geyser out in Yellowstone? Old Faithful. You gotta have like this geyser, this life-giving, high-octane passion geyser, because that is where the most authentic motivation comes from. You know, we need the extrinsic motivation. We're not poo-pooing paychecks. We need to survive. And we got to eat. We got to drink water for sure. We're done and pretty quickly. But once those boxes are checked, you know, the immediate basic needs, you know, the intrinsic motivation is where we, you know, bust through. I'm thinking like Willy Wonka when they bust through at the end with the rocket, bust through that wall of just box checking to really live in the life, living your really very best life, high octane passion. And so, yeah, so it's about listening to that inner voice, and then you know, being in that allowing mode, that receiving mode, seeing the red lights and don't go that way. Be super open to the green lights, and I like to also call them breadcrumbs. And then appreciate and be grateful for each and every breadcrumb along the path, rather than just being focused on the outcome. That outcome is fleeting, even when it's great. You published the book, good. That's gonna, you know, huge, big, great. Buy a new outfit, do a book signing, go on a tour. That the breadcrumbs leading up to that book signing are really what you want to cherish. They're much longer lasting, and so that's really it. It's that intrinsic, high octane, passion driven journey that we really want to be appreciating. So that is the number one as far as motivation goes. Okay, so that's it. So here are the steps: wish, desire, intend, and then focus on the passion. All right, this is Kimberly Quinn signing off from the beautiful Notch at Northern Vermont with little Giovanni, with my freezing hands because it's 27 degrees. All right, it's a great day. Have a mindful one.